No. Hey. No. In the courtroom circus, the gavel swings. Family torn apart by invisible strings. Puppet master laughs while the truth is ignored. Lies get a crown, truth gets the sword. One wins the game, one's left to crawl. But the kids are the ones who lose it all. A house divided where loved ones tread. Now it's a battlefield of hearts full of dread. Cut the strings, break the chains. See the evil drive in this pain. Puppet master pulling the strings tight. The parents' eyes blinded by the fight. Cut the strings before it's too late. Rewrite the story, escape the hate. A house divided will always fall, but the love of our children can rebuild it all. The puppet master dangle power like it's a prize. Blindfold justice with their lies. No due process, just a twisted show. Who really wins, no one knows. Children watch from the shattered ground. Silent cries in a world unbound. The scars run deep, the wounds won't heal, but parents still spin on the puppet's wheel. Cut the strings, break the chains. See the evil drive in this pain. Puppet master pulling the strings tight. The parents' eyes blinded by the fight. Cut the strings before it's too late. Rewrite the story, escape the hate. A house divided will always fall, but the love of our children can rebuild it all. Cut the strings, break the chains. Parents, you have to before it's too late. See the evil drive in this pain. Rewrite the story, escape the hate. Puppet master pulling tight. A house divided will always fall. The parents' eyes blinded by the fight, but the love of our children can rebuild it all. Cut the strings, break the chains. See the evil drive in this pain. Puppet master pulling the strings tight. The parents' eyes blinded by the fight. Cut the strings before it's too late. Rewrite the story, escape the hate. A house divided will always fall, but the love of our children can rebuild it all. Cut the strings before it's too late. Rewrite the story, escape the rain. Come together working with a clean slate. The two of you together can end the pain. Cut the strings. Cut the strings.
How does a parent answer their child when the truth feels sharp and wild? You build the walls around them to protect and keep them safe, but deep inside your heart you break. A child's voice cuts through the air, soft but heavy with a loaded stare. How do you tell them the truth in the haze when hope feels lost in this endless maze? But I hold my breath, my words decay. A parent's love trapped with no way to say. They ask why can't I stay to play more games? As the laughter fades, but the question still remains. The door closes as they step away. With empty chairs comes the longest days. I try to hold it in, but I scream out loud. The tears fall quick like a thunderous cloud. The weight I carry, I cannot unfold. For the peace in childhood, they shall not be told. Empty halls in a hollow room. The walls don't speak, but they hum you tune. The clock ticks loud like it knows my fight. Every second screams when you're out of sight. I hear the voices soft and true. Where are you? Why can't we see you? The door closes as they step away. With empty chairs comes the longest days. The tears fall quick like a thunderous cloud. I hold it in, but I scream out loud. The weight I carry, I cannot unfold. For the peace in childhood, they shall not be told. Answer their child when the truth feels sharp and wild. You build the walls around them to protect them, keep them safe, but deep inside your heart you break. The door closes as they step away. With empty chairs comes the longest days. much clout. I hold it in, but I scream out loud. The weight I carry, I cannot unfold. For the peace in childhood, they shall not be told. My child, I'll miss you always. Every day, every night, the echoes of silence. Seeing empty chairs and empty rooms, they won't go away. I promise you this, with every step I make and every breath I take, I will fight for you. We will be together again soon. We will be together again soon. I promise to you, nothing is going to stop me from getting to you. Oh no, I will fight for you. I will fight for you.
What's up, everybody? Oh my God. I'll tell you what, this past week has definitely been a week. But I personally, ladies and gentlemen, I have to give a huge shout out to every single one in the movement who shared, who contributed, and everything to help me get a new bike. As of last night, a new bike has been ordered. So everyone who contributed, I'm so thankful. You know, Tuesday night when I walked out of Applebee's right here in Rehoboth, what's going on, Lindsay? I'm still going to call you, Lindsay. I'm still going to call you. I promise you, I'm going to call you. But when I walked out of Applebee's after eating dinner with a bunch of other veterans and having a few drinks and whatnot and seeing my bike gone, my heart just shattered. You know, my livelihood was just literally tarnished because that's, you know, that bike, that's how I got back and forth to work. So, you know, for everyone who pulled together, thank you, Mark, for putting that little fundraiser together. I know that doing so, it's going to bring other people to you to want to, you know, do a fundraiser for them. And, you know, but I want to talk to everybody about that for a second. You know, what Mark did, you know, I can't thank him enough. You know, I've known him for 11 plus years now. And I've attended many events in D.C. The first one that we attended was in D.C. It was the Million Parrot March, and we only had like 200, maybe 250 people show up to that event. And, you know, it was just, you know, the camaraderie that was made there, the friendships and everything. I can't thank enough for everyone who was there, you know, in meeting Mark and Cash and everybody. But I tell you what, you know, literally humanity, you know, sucks. You know, when I noticed my bike was missing, I was like, you know, why would somebody do this? You know, why would somebody take somebody else's, you know, property? And unfortunately, the world that we live in today is just, it's not pretty, you know, but yeah, Uncle Brian. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I can't thank you all enough for pulling together, for the movement, for pulling together and helping me be able to get a new bike. Like I said, it was ordered last night. We raised just over $2,000. So yeah, it literally ordered it last night. It won't be processed until tomorrow because it's only during the business days, you know, Monday through Friday. So, but I do got a confirmation that it has been ordered, and I will get another email tomorrow once the order is fulfilled. And I've already spoken to electric e-bike company out of Arizona, and they will be letting me know that they're going to ship it out as soon as possible because they understand the circumstances. It'll still be at least 3 to 5 days for it to get processed and to get put together. Because of course the wheels, you know, because the nature of the roads that I'm riding on and how often I'm riding to and from work every day, as well as to events here in the Rehoboth Beach, you know, Lewis area, you know, I ride that bike everywhere. So I need protection for those tires. So I did also get the run flats, just in case the tire goes, you know, a pop a tire or something like that. I can still ride it in order to go get it fixed and not having to worry about, you know, having to walk the bike wherever it needs to go. So I want to thank everybody for helping me, you know, get this bike. Tuesday night, I couldn't get no sleep. Wednesday, I went to work and I wound up having to leave early because I was just so hyper focused because of the bike being gone that I just went home. I couldn't handle it. And finally, I was able to get some rest and woke up about 4 hours later to get some dinner in me. But yeah, no, Mark, thank you from the bottom of my heart for everyone who contributed. You know, I hate to mention names because you tend to leave people out, but you know who you are. For everyone who contributed, thank you from the bottom of my heart. You know, for giving me this. I literally, words can't even express how I feel. It really can't. You know, the movement really came together. You know, Mark explains it the best. You know, for those who want to get donations to help fight their case, this wasn't me fighting my case. This was me to get something back that I lost. That, you know, my transportation, the only transportation, because I don't have a license because of the state of Maryland, and you know, I'm working to get my license back. But unfortunately, the DMV as well as child support, they're not communicating with each other. And I got to seek out an attorney in order to fight this case in order to get my license back. They're saying I'm behind in child support, but yet child support is saying I've never been behind. So right now, the only transportation I have is an e-bike. But at the present moment, I got to take lifts back and forth to work. So whatever wasn't purchased for the bike is going towards the lift to get me back and forth to work for the next week or so until the bike actually arrives. And I will tell you that when the bike does arrive, I will be doing a live of the unboxing of it and putting it together and everything. But again, I can't thank everybody enough for the messages and the contributions in order to help me get a new bike. I have been in contact with the deputies on a regular basis. I know I'm going to hear from them tomorrow in regards to the bike. If they are able to locate, hey, Mark, there's the man of the hour right there who put the fundraiser together for me. But yeah, if they are able to recover my bike, if they're able to find it, I still won't be able to get it back for at least 6 months to a year because it's going to be put into evidence. It turns out over the last 2 weeks, there's been multiple bike thefts in this area. So there's a ring that's doing it, and they're trying to locate them. There's some things in works right now. That's all I got to say about it. John Nichols, we're going to be talking about that here in just a moment. I promise you, we're going to be talking about the Christmas thing here in just a moment. But yeah, again, my heartfelt thanks to everybody for the contributions and for those, you know, who sent messages and, you know, saying, you know, we're sorry that this happened. You know, I still can't fathom why it happened. You know, I don't understand why people have to be so cruel and inhumane to take somebody else's property like that. So thank you again from the bottom of my heart to everybody out there. Thank you for your contributions. Thank you for your messages, your kind words, you know, your inspirations. Because I know with being down and whatnot, I felt like at my very low. And each and every single one of your words, your kind words, and just it really helped me pull through this. So again, I do have a new bike. It will be probably within the next week and a half that it will arrive. I will do an unboxing of it. Now, I do want to address another elephant in the room because I saw some comments on Mark's posts on his live feeds that he did, you know, talking about this and, you know, talking about me. And, you know, I noticed some people are like, well, why do you have to get such an expensive bike? You know, why can't you just get like a $500 bike? I'll tell you the reason why. Again, this is a bike that I literally ride every day, every single day, back and forth to work. Okay. Now, I live roughly about 4.5 miles away from work. It takes me 15 minutes to get to work. But you talk about, you know, 5-6 days a week, depending on how much I'm working, you know, that's almost 9 miles back and forth each day. You know, that's not including having to go out to the grocery store, you know, doing other things, you know, going to meetings and whatnot, going to events for veterans, because that's what I was doing on Tuesday, on Veterans Day, when my bike got stolen. You know, that morning I went to a veterans event down at the boardwalk at the gazebo, and then I went to the VFW and hung out there for a while. And then, you know, I went to work, you know, saw my DM, and, grabbed my charger for the bike, and then I went to Applebee's, parked the bike, did everything I needed to do, went in, having dinner, walk out. Oh my God, bike's gone. Helmet was on the bench, but the bike gone. So the amount of riding that I do, I also have to endure the weather, the things that happen out here, the weather conditions and everything, because I do ride this during the wintertime. I don't just sit back and take Uber during the wintertime. There could be snow on the ground, and I'm still out there trucking on that e-bike. So I need a very, very reliable bike. Getting a $500 bike, it's not going to be well made. It's going to rust real easy. Things are going to start falling apart. It needs more maintenance I have to do to it. So getting a more expensive bike to get the coverages and stuff like that, it's just it makes more sense getting a much, much better bike. So it's going to last me a long time. The bike that I had, the chain was rusted up a little bit. I was planning on getting a new tire, but that's just normal wear and tear. But for those that know, last year I actually wrecked my e-bike, and the only scratches that were on it, and that, like I said, that was almost a $1,900 bike. And when I wrecked it, there was only a few scratches on it. There was no dents, no nothing, just a few scratches, and that was just on the brake handles, on the edges of the brake handles. They were scratched up a little bit from when it hit the ground, because literally when I hit, I went over the handlebars. So that's the reason why I need a very, very reliable bike, and sometimes going cheap just doesn't cut it. So again, thank you to everybody out there for contributing to help me get this bike and get me back on the road sooner than I was expected. Like I said, it's going to be at least another week and a half before the bike will arrive. But when it does, I will do an unboxing of it for everyone to see. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to mention, and I'm going to get ready to play a song that you guys have already heard before through my social media pages. It's called The Scars Run Deep. Now, I know you all have already heard this song, because I'm going to take a little break, get some water, because my mouth's dry. It's a little dry in here. I just created a music video for it. So I want you guys to hear it. It's called The Scars Run Deep. And this goes out for any of the parents that have been battling, throughout the holidays, just in general, because I understand how difficult it was. 15 years I've been fighting. Okay, 11 years I've known Mark, but 15 years I've been fighting this system, to get laws changed and whatnot. So I know what it's like, and the music that I've created, I hope that you guys can, get a sense for it and be able to relate to it. And, all these songs, all these music videos are being posted to the YouTube channel, which right now, ladies, we're on YouTube right now. We're on Twitch. We're also on 3 different Facebook platforms right now. So we're getting a lot of coverage of this. But yeah, I want you all to see this music video, and then right after that video, I am going to be talking about the Christmas Marathon. So stay tuned. I will be right back, guys.
Imagine fighting every day just to love your own, while seeds of doubt in the child's mind are sown. Imagine their laugh, now a weapon in disguise. Your joy turns to ashes beneath the lights.
Every morning starts with a war in your chest. It's a battlefield where you can't find rest. You fought for the love, now you're fighting for respect. The tears fall like daggers, but you ain't dead yet.
Who do you blame when the battlefield's blurred? When love's is the language that can't be heard? Do you hold the line or let them go? Do they even see the tears you show? Fighting every day just to love your child, while their whispers grow angry and wild. Someone you once trusted turn love into knives, putting hate in their heart where love once fried. The mirror cracks, but it shows you clear. A fighter, a lover drowning in your tears. Trust was the knife, it cuts so deep. The scars of your stories you don't wanna repeat. Oh no, just don't wanna repeat.
The scars run deep.
For every bedtime story they told, spread the lie. When whispers
but you stand your ground. Love can't be silenced as it makes a loud sound. The echoes scream as the walls close in. You feel like you're losing ground but refusing to give in. A million scars but your heart still beats. The love for your child so fierce it defeats deceit. Fighting every day just to love your child, while their whispers grow angry and wild. Someone you once trusted turned love into knives, putting hate in their heart where love once thrived. The mirror cracks but it shows you clear. A fighter, a lover drowning in your tears. Trust was the knife, it cut so deep. The scars of your stories you don't wanna repeat. Oh no, just don't wanna repeat. The scars run deep. Watching them whisper venom into tiny ears, turn the child's laughter to doubt and joy to fear. A face you once trusted, now a mask of lies, as they teach your child to despise. But you hold on tight though your grip is thin. Love's a battle that you're fighting to win. They can't erase what's written in your soul, even if they break every piece you hold. Fighting every day just to love your child, while their whispers grow angry and wild. Someone you once trusted turned love into knives, putting hate in their heart where love once thrived. The mirror cracks but it shows you clear. A fighter, a lover drowning in your tears. Trust was the knife, it cuts so deep. The scars of your stories you don't wanna repeat. Oh no, just don't wanna repeat. The scars run deep. Imagine fighting every day just to love your child because of someone who whispers lies so loud. Trust was the knife, it cuts so deep. The scars of your stories you just don't wanna repeat.
Oh, I hope you all like that. I spent all day, putting that video together. And, some people ask me, how do I do it? Well, I use a program called Suno. I write the words, I put the words into the program, and I render it like multiple times, putting music as well as the voice to it. And so that's how I create my music. I don't do all the tech work like Philly Slim or any other musicians do. I allow the AI program to put the music and the words to it. And I also use an AI program to put the video together. I put in what I want, how I want it, how I want the characters to look, and it just renders it. And I do it a couple of times, and it comes out with this. So it takes some time to put this stuff together, but it can be done fairly quickly if done right. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, so the main focus of this live feed is to talk about the upcoming Christmas marathon. Now, there's a couple other things that are going to be happening before Christmas. I know Mark and I were going to be doing, well, he's going to be doing, I'm going to be doing the behind the scenes work for him on Thanksgiving night, around 8 p.m. Central Time. Mark, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's 8 p.m. Central Time. Make a comment so people know if you're still watching. We're going to be showing for the first time the new website and everything of the new organization, NCESP, the National Coalition of Equal Share Parenting, which I am so grateful to be a part of. For those that know, we were just all in DC. We had 45, 50 people in DC advocating for Title 4D reform. So, but Christmas is right around the corner. We all know how difficult, especially if you've been in this movement for so long, you know how difficult it is for a parent who's not able to see or even speak to their children for the holidays. So for the last, I want to say probably about 13 years, in between 10 and 13 years, because there were 2 years where I couldn't do it. I had somebody else host it. I participated. I just wasn't in a position to be able to host a 24-hour marathon. But this Christmas, I am hosting it. And I've already gotten a couple of messages from people who want to join. John, I know you want to join. And I know several others that want to join too. So some people have asked me, how can they join? Well, there's 2 ways you can join. One, you can do a pre-recorded 5 to 10 minute video of yourself, with the tree, some sort of Christmas decoration in the background, just a 5 to 10 minute, segment, which can be sent to my email, which is right there, rfirnetwork@gmail.com. And just send it there. I will be able to get it and edit into a bunch of other pre-recordeds. At night, it will start at 9 p.m. and it will run until 9 p.m. Christmas Day. So 9 p.m. Christmas Eve to 9 p.m. Christmas Day, we will be live. During the early morning hours, like from 2 to 8 o'clock, it will most likely all be pre-recorded segments, just so I'm able to get some sleep, because 24 hours is a long period to stay up. And so I want to try to get as many pre-recorded segments as possible. Now, the second way you can join is by live, right here with me on StreamYards. I'm pretty sure there's going to be other people that are going to be joining in too. I know I'm linking up with other podcasters to also do some, so I'm not always on screen. I'm not afraid of the camera, but sometimes I could use a little break and sit back and just watch as well. So if any other podcaster out there, anybody else wants to step up and do some chats and maybe an open discussion with a round table, maybe we can get 4 or 5 people on and to chat at once. We've done that in the past. We had Greg Ellis. For those that remember, back in 2021, Greg Ellis, he was I want to say the lieutenant, I believe, but he was the British soldier on Pirates of the Caribbean that played with Captain Jack Sparrow, so Johnny Depp. So he was on there for quite some time, and we had a wonderful discussion with him. At first, I didn't even know who it was. I didn't realize he was a freaking movie star, for God's sakes. But it was such an honor to be able to speak to him. I know he spoke, so much about Nancy Schaefer, which is what I do on a regular basis. That's what I do. I speak of her anywhere I go. Any event that I've been to, I've always spoken about Nancy Schaefer. Many people know that I've done events in DC on the day that she died on March 26 in 2010. So. But I'm just so grateful for everybody, for those who've joined in the past. I know Mark's been on it multiple times. Sean Pearson, he's been on the marathons every single year that I've done this, every single year. He's even been present with me for 2 of them. One of them that was completely all pre-recorded. He actually came and helped me where my living room, when I used to live in a condo in Gaithersburg, where literally the entire living room was covered in green screen. So, Sean, he's a dear friend. He's helped me out on multiple occasions for these marathons. But yeah, it's such a blessing to have everyone, come on and do these either pre-recorded segments or come on live. Now, if anybody wants to do a pre-recorded segment with me, we can figure out a time, but everything must be in. I must have all pre-recorded segments in ready to go a week before Christmas. And the reason why I say that is because I need time to sit down and edit and split and slice and dice and put it all together to make sure it all fits. And of course, we are going to do the documentaries again. And I'm hoping I can get Yaya to allow me to use his videos. I know last time we did this, he asked me not to do it, but I'm going to ask him to see if we can do it again this year. So we have at least 3 documentaries. I'm working on a possible 4th. documentary. So we know possibility we're going to have Yaya McLean's Casualties of War, Warriors Against the Regime. Like I said, I will be reaching out to him. He's a dear, good friend of mine, fellow Marine. The second one is by Ginger Gentile, which is the Erasing Families documentary. And then we also got Elizabeth and Mike McNeese. Oh, man. I'm having a brain fart here. Oh, good darn it. I can't think of the name of hers off the top of my head. But, yes, we will be airing hers again as well. And then there's one more. I'm not going to say what it is because I'm waiting for a response back from the producers to see if we can get a copy of that documentary. And it's one that's actually supposed to be released on the 25th, I believe. I think it's supposed to be released on the 25th, but I'll have to double check on that. But I'm hoping I can get that documentary too. And of course, all the music that I've created, if anyone's got music, if anyone's created a song and wants it to be played, because I've already got some, which I will be using as well. But this is going to help to be able to bring more camaraderie, get these artists out there amongst the movement. Sorry, my mouth is dry. So amongst the movement, in order to share our talents. And so, but again, this marathon is to help anyone that's out there. We know for a fact that these marathons have saved lives. David Grove is one of those individuals, and he actually wrote a book that you can get on Amazon, which we'll share on the marathon. But he wrote a book. He actually mentioned of RFIRN as well as what we did for him. Literally, he was thinking about taking his own life, and he came across via Facebook the Chris's live feed. I want to say it was in 2016, and he started watching it, and it gave him the courage to continue to go forward. It literally stopped him from thinking of suicide. So, if these marathons is able to do that for you, that's what this is about. It's to let you know that you're not alone, that you will never be alone. There's a lot of people out here who have been going through it for years, and we're here to support you. We're here to help you. Find your local organization in your area, and there's so many of them out there, and they're all willing to listen and help and guide you. One of the big things that I highly recommend for everyone to do is to find a hobby. I'm a gamer. I stream on Twitch games, and that's a hobby. Writing music, that's a hobby. Fighting this fight within family courts and trying to get laws changed and everything, that's a passion. That's not a hobby. We need to find something that's going to help us be able to cope with what we're going through. It's just going to help us to have our zen, our place of relaxation, a place of enjoyment. So find that hobby, and I can't express that enough. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you're planning on, wanting to commit suicide, please reach out to somebody. We've lost too many people in this movement to suicide, and it breaks my heart every single time. I've had some dear friends of mine who took their own lives over the years, and I can't fathom exactly what they were going through, but I can feel their pain because every situation is different, but we're all battling the same system. So again, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be a part of the Christmas Marathon, please reach out to me via email, contact me through social media, comment on this post if you want to be a part of that. Again, there's two ways. You can either do pre-recorded segments. I'm asking for 5 to 10 minutes, no more than 10, because I want to try to get as many people involved as possible for the Christmas Marathon. These things are a huge deal, and I know it saves lives. I can't even tell you. I can't even count on my hands on how many people have reached out and told me that, watching those, gave them courage to continue to move forward, because the holidays are the biggest and the most struggling times for parents out there who don't get to see their children for the holidays. So, but ladies and gentlemen, again, I can't thank the movement enough for all y'all coming together to help me obtain a new bike. Mark, again, thank you for putting that out there. And I can't thank you enough for everything that you've done in this movement. And for anyone, who contributed, again, from the bottom of my heart. I know I sound like a broken record here, but the stress level that was way above my shoulders is now down below towards the feet. So I'm able to breathe again. I'm able to get rest and function right at work. Because for a while there, after my bike got stolen, I wasn't in the right mind. So thank you all for the love and support. Thank you all for the guidance. And, thank you to everyone in the past who's done these Christmas marathons. It's because of y'all. It's the reason why I do this. So again, if you want to be part of the Christmas marathon, reach out to me. Reach out to me on social media. There's the email right there that you can get a hold of me. Like I said, if you want to do the pre-recorded segment, send it to that email. Send it to that email right there, and we'll make it happen. If you want to do a pre-recorded segment with me, make sure you email me and let me know. Thank you, Justin. I really do appreciate that. Thank you. So if you want to do a chat, not just you on screen to do a recording, but if you want to do one where it's a little group discussion, I'm more than willing to sit back and talk with you and, have you come on to do a pre-recording with me. That's fine. If you want to do one with another, that's great too. I can have you guys come on and I will step in the shadows. I will hit record and you guys do your thing. Again, I want to try to make this as, simple as possible. So every recording I want to be at least 5 to 10 minutes long. The discussions will go a lot longer, of course. There are times where these Christmas marathons have gone beyond 24 hours. I think the longest one we did was almost 28 hours. So yeah, big things. There's a lot coming out in the movement. I will say this, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't taken Mark's class in order to become part of the team that goes to DC on a regular basis to talk with legislators and congressmen, because a lot of people don't know what we did in DC a couple weeks ago. We actually stepped in front of legislators and congressmen. We had a big event at the National Hill Club right there in DC, and we had several people show up. I know we had a congressman from 3 congressmen show up. We had a couple legislators, and we also had several of the aides that showed up that day. It was such a great event. It was the very first government event that I've ever been to. So I want to thank Mark again for giving me that opportunity to be present for that. But if you want to learn what we're doing, I highly recommend you take his class. And there's the information right there for his website, stlmarkludwig.com. Go take his class. You'll learn what we're doing. We all need to be on the same page. If we're not, things can get misconstrued, and the legislators and or congressmen that you're going to be speaking to may get confused, and we don't want that. So we want everyone to be on the same page when it comes to talking about Title 4D, Title 4E, just in general. So, we want everyone to be on the same page. So definitely go check out his website, go sign up for his pages. And yes, it does cost money. But like Mark always says, if you take Lyft or, you go out and eat dinner, just one class, just one missed dinner out in public and one less Uber or Lyft ride will pay for that class. So I highly recommend going to take his class so you guys can get on the same page that we are. I'll tell you what we did in DC, huge, and more things are coming. I'm telling you, there are things happening that it's going to blow people's mind. For those who don't want to go or can't go to DC, reach out to those who are going to help them and, see what they need in order to go. Because, these trips aren't, cheap. They're not. They're really not cheap. I for one, know. So I've seen what Mark does, at these events that he goes to in DC. 17 times he's been back and forth to DC. What he did in 2 weeks ago, that was his 18th or 19th time being in DC doing what he does. So definitely go take his class, learn what we're doing so you'll be up to par and up to date with everything that's going on. And you'll be invited to Zoom meetings and stuff like that, so you will be kept up to date. Also, check out the page for the National Coalitions of Equal Share Parenting. The link is in the description of every single one of these live feeds that's happening right now on Twitch, YouTube, and also on 3 separate Facebook pages. So definitely go check out the Facebook page for NCESP, the National Coalition for Equal Share Parenting, and like it, follow it, and you'll be getting a lot of information there on what's going on with upcoming events and stuff like that. Also, stay tuned. After the Christmas Marathon, we, RFIRN, are coming back. We will start doing Sunday night shows again. I know people have asked me, when is RFIRN coming back? We are coming back. We are waiting for the right time, the right moment, the right feeling to do so. I'm excited to get back into podcasting again. I really am. I miss doing it. But we're coming back in a different format. We're still going to talk about family law. We're still going to allow those to come on because RFIRN is the voice of the voiceless. So we will allow people to come on and share their stories with us and share their cases with us. Now, I want to make note, we're not attorneys. We can't give legal advice. However, the advice that we do give is based upon our own personal experiences. So, again, ladies and gentlemen, I know personally how hard it is to battle a system of lies and false allegations and dealing with not being able to see your children. So my heart goes out to each and every single one of you. I am very fortunate that in the 15 years that I've been fighting the system, 12 of those years were my own personal battle. For those who were at the Family Forward Project event in DC this past June, you guys, they had the fortunate opportunity to be able to meet my children firsthand. But not just my children, even the children's mom was there. Co-parenting is possible. And one of the songs that I played before you saw me come on screen was called Cut the Strings. And both sides need to cut the strings of the puppet masters. Cut the strings of the puppet masters. Once you cut those strings, life will be so much easier. Get the courts out of your lives. The courts are stringing you along. They are not your friends. And once both sides realize that, I'm telling you, life will do a complete 180 for you. 12 years I fought. Then I cut the strings. And that's when the mom contacted me out of the blue and said things need to change. 2 days after that, I'm at work up on a ladder. And I hear my boss say, "Brian, look down." And he would be the first one to tell you. I was like Mission Impossible. I didn't just climb down that ladder. I slid down that ladder and I grasped my daughter in my arms. That was the first time I had seen and heard from my daughter in 6 months or more. So for those that were out there in June at the Family Forward Project, they had the opportunity to meet my children firsthand and meet their mom too. I talk to their mom regularly now. We are co-parenting for the best interest of our children. So for those out there struggling, there is light at the end of the tunnel. But it's got to start with you. You got to cut those strings first. Once you cut those strings, I guarantee you things will start turning around for you. So again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for those who contributed to help me get my new e-bike. Like I said, it was ordered last night. It's going to be about a week and a half for it to arrive. But I will do another live when that arrives and to do the unboxing of it, to show everybody. Because, you guys helped me get it. So why not, show you guys the bike and do the unveiling of it. But again, if you want to be part of this year's Christmas Marathon, do not hesitate. Start sending me your pre-recorded segments today. 5 to 10 minutes. 5 to 10 minutes only. Like I said, I want to get hundreds of these segments done. I want to get as many people on who want to share their words of wisdoms and their thoughts and, letting people know that they're not alone during this time. So if you're part of an organization or you run an organization, you want people to come find you. We want you to tell us about that organization so people can go to it. It's the only way we're going to be able to help people. So, and I know I got several comments here. I'm sorry that I haven't been paying attention to the comments very much. Yes, absolutely, John. It does extend to the grandparents as well. It does extend to the grandparents. Cheap viewers, no. Yeah, thank you again, Justin. He says that you deserve it, buddy. John, I know you want to be part of it. Tony Knightley, how are you doing? And Lindsay, I will call you. I promise you, I will call you here momentarily. Who else? And Mark, of course, he commented. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, again, you want to be part of the Christmas Marathon? Do it now. Don't wait. Get me those pre-recorded segments in. If you want to come on live, I need to know as well. Send me an email saying that you wish to come on live with me. Or somebody else, or however you want to do it. If you want you and like 2 other people to come on, I need to know, because I need to know who I need to send the link to for StreamYards in order to bring you guys up. If you want me to join, I will join you during those live times. I do want to do some roundtable discussions too, like we've done in the past. So yeah, like I said, we're going to have documentaries that we're going to be playing too. Hopefully, and I'm keep my fingers crossed. That Yahya will allow us to use his documentary once again, and maybe we'll have a 4th one on top of that. So, John Nichols says live for me with a group. All right, you got it, buddy. So yeah, again, if you want to be, present and be part of this year's Christmas Marathon, let me know. Send me an email. I'll put the email back up again. That's the email right there, rfirnetwork@gmail.com, rfirnetwork@gmail.com. And just let me know what you want to do. Let me know if you're going to do a pre-recorded segment or you want to come on live. Again, if you want to do a pre-recorded segment, I must have it a week prior. So let me pull up the schedule here. I need it by the 18th. December 18th is the last day that I can accept the pre-recorded segments, because I need a week to at least, splice, dice, and put it all together. So December 18th, make sure you have your 5 to 10 minute pre-recorded segments in via email. Again, email's right there. I will have a schedule for those after the 18th. So after the 18th, I will actually have a schedule to where I'll have those who want to come on live be able to choose a time. So again, send me an email if you want to do a live segment or if you want to do a pre-recorded, and we'll go from there. So that's all I have for you guys tonight. I want to thank everyone who's joined me either on Facebook, on the 3 different platforms of Facebook. It's RFIRN, Truth Exposed, my personal page, as well as RFIRN Podcast on Twitch and RFIRN on YouTube. So again, send me a message via email or even on Facebook Messenger. It doesn't have to be through email. Just let me know what you want to do so we can get the ball going, because Christmas, before you know it, is going to be here. So like I said, before the 18th, I must have all the pre-recorded segments in for live. After that, we will figure out a time for everyone to come on. Now, you got to remember, this is Eastern Standard Time. I want to remind everybody, it is Eastern Standard Time that we're going to be doing or starting the Christmas Marathon. So it'll be 9 p.m. Christmas Eve to 9 p.m. Christmas Day. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I wish you all a safe night. Send me those messages. Send me those pre-recordings, and I will catch you guys on the next one.
Change is a whisper, it's the roar in the crowd. It's a silent prayer as we scream out loud. It's the hands that hold and the hearts that mend. Change is a story that will never end.
Yeah, family recall got us twisted in the system. Dreams of the kids, but the gavel won't listen. Two parents, one love, split down the middle. Broken hearts play in a bittersweet fiddle. Fighting for rights, but the road hasn't played fair. Justice been blindfolded, acting like it don't care. Letters to the law, seems like they're gathering dust, but we continue to march on because change is a must. Never, never, never stop the fight. Equal shepherding and shine in the light. Change is coming, it's within our sight. Never give up the hype, we're gonna make it right. Never, never, never give up hope. Seeking justice as we climb the rope. Every tear we shed fuels the fire we stoke. No more broken homes, this is the dream we evoke. Courtroom circus, they juggling pain. Tears on the gavel, lives down the drain. Family split, hearts severed in twain. But the future's a canvas, we splatter the stain. Yeah, 50-50 vision, balance in sight. Fathers and mothers both deserve the light. Kids need both, wrongs turn to right. Family law reform, we ignite the fight.
Never, never, never
Stop the fight, equal shepherding and shine in the light. Change is coming, it's within our sight. Never give up the hype, we're gonna make it right. Never, never, never give up hope. Seeking justice as we climb the rope. Every tear we shed fuels the fire we stoke. No more broken homes, this is the dream we evoke.
speak out loud, don't be afraid. A future's built on the stands we've made. For fathers, mothers, children too. Family reform, it starts with you. Never, never, never
Stop the fight, cold shepherding and shine in the light. Change is coming, it's within our sight. Never give up the hype, we're gonna make it right. Never, never, never give up hope. Seeking justice as we climb the rope. Every tear we shed fuels the fire we stoke. No more broken homes, this is the dream we evoke. Change is the whisper, it's the roar in the crowd.
never stop the fight.
It's the silent prayer as we scream out loud.
Shining the light.
It's the hands that hold and the hearts that mend.
No more broken homes.
Change is a story that will never end.
It's the dream we evoke.
Never, never, never stop the fight. Equal shepherding and shine in the light. Change is coming, it's within our sight. Never give up the hype, we're gonna make it right. Never, never, never give up hope. Seeking justice as we climb the rope. Every tear we shed fuels the fire we stoke. No more broken homes, this is the dream we evoke.
It's the dream we evoke.